Continuing from the previous episode 1940. Boom! In the entire sky, countless gloomy blood colors swept out. It's just that this blood energy is completely different from the evil blood energy of the Night King and others, because this blood color emerged from the Demon Emperor. There is no evil power in the blood energy, but it is just like a bottomless pit. Hear the spear. Xiao snorted coldly, and immediately countless blood-colored demonic chi materialized directly in front of the Demon Emperor. A blood-colored spear appeared in the Demon Emperor's hand. Although it was just an energy state and not an entity, it was extremely excited. Humming like shaking, a domineering arrogance that surpassed all things, invaded. The blood-colored spear is impressively the third of the top 10 weapons in the demon world, the sky-splitting demon spear. The sky-splitting demon spear shone with blood, highlighting the arrogance of an overlord. The whole body was more than 3 feet long. Numerous ancient and complex patterns were carved on it, forming a total of 10 different patterns of alien beasts. The 10 alien beasts alone are enough to rank among the top ranks of the demon world, and the power they contain is even more evident from the world. In a flick of the wave, the world lost its voice. Condensing the phantom of the artifact with demon power? This guy's power has actually survived the 4th or even the 5th reincarnation calamity? How is that possible? At this moment, the power in the body of the Night King disappeared rapidly because of the explosion of the blood crystal, but with the shroud of the surrounding night world, he was barely able to perform some attacks, but when he saw the Demon Emperor's posture, a time froze. This tyrannical weapon disappeared as early as after the Demon Emperor was sealed. Now that the Demon Emperor has just broken the seal, it is absolutely impossible to retrieve it. Even so, the Demon Emperor actually used his own demon power to directly transform into the form of a tyrant weapon. Compared with the real bully weapon, there are many gaps, but it is enough to deal with yourself. What kind of affinity and monstrous demon power does this kind of handwriting require? It seems that not only the 3 of them have increased their strength due to the suppression of the seal, but the arc of the Demon Emperor's growth is even more staggering. King, what are we doing now? At this time, Shui Huo Shuangsha suddenly felt a coldness that was infinitely close to death from the Demon Emperor's body and the demon spear in his hand, and immediately hesitated. They understood that if they didn't take some measures in time, I am afraid that they will face a collapse, because this evil formation has no threat to the Demon Emperor with the disappearance of the blood crystal of the Night King. On the other hand, the terrorist offensive that the Demon Emperor is brewing now is enough to easily kill them. Obviously, because the Night King was too arrogant, he tried to devour dozens of demon world powerhouses to supplement himself with the original blood crystal, which made a big mistake. The strongest blow. I don't believe that this guy's power has not declined in any way because of the seal. There was a resolute taste in the Dark Night King's eyes, and immediately, a red blood glow of *** power emerged all over his body. The red blood dedicated to the Red King contains the power of the Knight of the Night King. With the power of the remaining 2 White Kings, I am afraid it is enough to compete with the Demon Emperor. Blood Sacrifice, the Gift of the Night. Water Festival, Yishou Shui Hao. Fire Festival, Flame Burial. 3 mighty voices, with 3 completely different evil auras, vented out from this realm of night that has been shrouded by the Night King, and the power contained in them is enough to tear the world apart and make the world feel for it sincerely. Lord, at this moment, the dozens of demon world powers below held their breaths in their hearts, staring blankly at the immortal figure of the Demon Emperor in the sky, whispering softly. Although Tianshang Tyrant and White-Bone Demon King were very hostile in their hearts, with the appearance of the Demon Emperor, they also eliminated all other distractions in their hearts, because they followed the Demon Emperor to fight in the quartet, and they knew the Demon Emperor's tyranny. The Demon Emperor is out, and they still have the qualifications to compete for the demon world. Now that the Demon Emperor is broken, all conspiracies can only be dissipated. All this is only because of the extremely terrifying power of the Demon Emperor and the shock of his indestructible body. Countless years ago, the first battle of heaven and earth was like this. The entire demon world was beaten by the army of foreign evil tribes. It was the Demon Emperor who turned the tide. This scene is surprisingly similar. But our world is not a place where you rotten bugs can trample at will. And our demon world is definitely not a place where your extraterritorial evil clan can bully. To this Emperor, fall here completely. The mighty voice tilted down like a domineering sky. Kill me. The three cold hums were intertwined, and the three evil attacks were also condensed together, forming a veil of sky, followed by a ferocious monster with a size of 10,000 feet, piercing the void with its teeth and claws, crossing the night. Right, the demon emperor in the sky blasted away, and his appearance was no less than the arrival of a real demon, coveting the fertile land of the demon world, waving and trampling. Life was covered in charcoal, blood flowed into rivers. Splitting the sky. Seeing the curtain of the sky and the demonic shadow roaring together, the demon emperor smiled coldly. Immediately, the sky-splitting demon spear standing in front of him erupted with a dazzling demonic energy, which was directly squeezed by the demon emperor. Holding it in his hand, his posture is contemptuous, and he collapses in the air. His body's strength shrinks to the limit, and he swipes at the ladder abruptly. Boom! In an instant, a blood-colored crack, with an incomparably loud and domineering demonic aura, fell off the demon spear in a high-profile manner and blasted away at the ghost. Gotcha! The two collided without any hesitation, but all the defenses of the phantom shadow were in vain, and it was suddenly pierced by the blood-colored crack. Oh! Impossible! At this moment, a sinister and malicious voice emerged from the mouth of the Night King. One blow, just one blow. The strongest blow of the three of them was cracked by the demon emperor. At this moment, the Night King just felt why this demon emperor is the most talented one since the demon world was established. I am afraid that the strength of the demon emperor has surpassed himself by too much now. King, let's go! Watching this scene, the water and fire were venting their auras, and they directly exploded with surging evil power, trying to stop the demon emperor's attack and buy time for the Night King to escape. Ended. 10 beasts split the sky. Seeing the attack of the three being broken, the breath in the body became dying, the demon emperor snorted coldly, and the demon spear in his hand turned into a giant shadow of 10 extremely overbearing demon beasts. www.novelmtlink2.com roared away at the three. Tear off. Gotcha! No matter how ferocious the water and fire Shuangshao was, he was besieged by 10 domineering monsters. The flesh and blood on his body was bitten off, and the evil power was entangled by the monster energy, unable to exert any power. At this moment, to welcome them, only destruction. Gotcha! After a while, the 10 beasts completely devoured the water and fire and the 2 evil spirits, and immediately their bodies swelled and went towards the chest of the Night King who was about to escape. It was pierced and swallowed by it. Obviously, the power of the 10 alien beasts condensed from the sky-splitting demon spear is comparable to the reincarnation powerhouse. In just a few minutes before and after, the 2 mighty White Kings and the evil Night King were completely destroyed by the Demon Emperor's hands. Demon Emperor Overlord, Sky-Splitting Demon Spear. A generation of Demon Emperors, well deserved. Continuing from the previous episode 1941. HMPH. 3 idiots. But now that we have collected the power of 2 demon suppression prisons, it is enough for us to squander it for a while. 2 White Kings and 1 Red King have fallen. I am afraid that the evil tribes outside the territory will not be so willing to let it go. Susu. On the edge of the ancient battlefield, Xu Xiao said grimly, and after speaking, he disappeared into a black smoke, but he did have some kind of extremely evil treasure on his body, which took the 2 demon-suppressing prisons. Many evil creatures have been completely absorbed, but they just don't know why. The other side. Gulu. In the magnificent ancient battlefield, as the 3 evil powerhouses were completely annihilated by the Demon Emperor's hands, without any trace of their origins escaping, the powerhouses behind them couldn't help but be stunned. Ever since the Demon Emperor disappeared, there have been endless legends about him. Even some of the descendants are quite fearful and respected. Now that I have seen it with my own eyes, the shock is naturally suppressing the hearts of all of them. But now, it doesn't matter anymore. With the Demon Emperor now, the collapse of the demon world will be unified. Lord. At this moment, Elder Scorpion and Elder Monkey, the reincarnations, took the lead, knelt down heavily on both knees, and respectfully said to the figure standing proudly above the void. These reincarnation powerhouses are now the strongest in the demon world, and the remaining powerhouses are either fallen or in a deep sleep, and need to be awakened by the Demon Emperor. Well, it's over. Send someone to clean up the 2 demon suppression prisons. The seals of the demon suppressing prisons are extremely strong. If there is no black box operation by people with intentions, it is absolutely impossible for them to break the seal. and the other evil forces in the 2 demon suppression prisons are extremely weak. These things seem a little strange. Check them out. After the 3 kings were completely wiped out, the demon emperor's face became gloomy, staring at him. Looking at the positions of the Tianshang tyrants, he said coldly that hegemonic spirit was displayed, making people unable to move. Master, we are guilty. At this moment, Tianshang tyrant and the white bone demon king suddenly spoke out, their voices filled with a sense of convincing, and suddenly fell to their knees, looking in a trance, not daring to show any disobedience. You. What are you guilty of? The demon emperor said coldly, but the monstrous murderous intent contained in his voice was hard to contain. During the period of its seal, Heishan Longling kept revealing the situation of the demon world to the demon emperor. Shoo shoo! In an instant, the reincarnation aura from the demon emperor's body swept out, washing away countless evil auras in the ancient battlefield. For a time, the majestic repression made everyone in front of him feel no resistance. Lord, we are guilty. Tianshang tyrant and white bone demon king said slightly, and their voices were full of apology. Humph! Since I was sealed, the demon world has become chaotic due to the division of you and others. Now the battle of the few of you has damaged our demon world's vitality. What should you blame? The demon emperor's cold voice had no trace of warmth. Lord, the 2 white kings and 1 red king have been obliterated now. I am afraid that they will be known by the real high-level foreigners in the near future. Once they are angry, I am afraid that it will lead to a more dangerous battle. Although your strength, Master, has entered an unmatched realm, the strength of the 2 adults also touches the reincarnation. I am afraid that it will only be a matter of time before stepping into the reincarnation. The reincarnation powerhouse is indispensable at this moment. Lord, think again. At this time, Lao Hu and Lao Xie and other reincarnation powerhouses spoke out at the same time, begging for mercy for the 2 of them. The death penalty is exempt, but the living crime cannot escape. I want you to wait for the 2 of you to follow me for a few years. Let's write down the crime this time, and wait for the crime and meritorious service in the future. Otherwise, don't blame the emperor for being ruthless. After a deep voice, the demon emperor said, Thank you, Lord. The 2 Tianshang tyrants heard the words, and immediately burst into tears and their bodies trembled. If there were no pleas from these guys, I am afraid that they would be instantly wiped out by the demon emperor, the demon pill would be destroyed, and their souls would fly away. Go on, you can solve the situation in the ancient battlefield today. And the demon world has been broken for tens of thousands of years, and it should be reunified now. Old monkey, you send someone to integrate all the power of the demon world. If you encounter a disobedient, you can kill it first and then pay for it. Quote. The orderly orders were issued, and the situation in the demon world became clear again. On the other side, in the demon fate cave, the 10,000 demon king has already gone to deal with many matters in the demon world, and only the He Sha Long Lang, the flaming beast and Xiao Yan are left here. Strange, what the asterisk is going on here? Xiao Yan was always in a very special state when the outside world demon emperor wiped out the 3 kings with a supreme attitude. It seems that his soul has entered a realm of no one, which is also a place of aurora like a demon, but there are only 3 light groups of each color, and Xiao Yan's soul body. For a long time, Xiao Yan had been ignorant of these 3 light groups, and even had no way to break through them. These 3 light groups are a bit like the 3 great magic arts that seal the demon emperor. They are afraid of something in my body. The soul-transforming secret art of the ghost world, the devil heart-devouring divine art of the devil's world, and the Zen mind-clearing Brahma art of the Buddhist world. But why do they imprison me? Xiao Yan quietly stood in the dead aurora void space. Immediately thought carefully. Hush! After an unknown amount of time, Xiao Yan's body flickered suddenly, and after a while, the stone fell one by one. Evil crystal demon block? Xiao Yan wondered. Wang buzzing. Before Xiao Yan could react, the 3 groups of light instantly turned the crystal into a cloud of dust with the power of thunder. And in the powder, some ancient words are also looming, and there is an eternal power on it, which slowly sounded. This is the cultivation root of the 3 great gods? How is that possible? In an instant, Xiao Yan watched the 3 groups of light directly attached to the powder particles of the evil crystal, and immediately an ancient ripple floated in front of him. That kind of feeling is as if these three divine arts were guided by the burning art in one's own body, directly paving their cultivation paths on the stones. Although I don't know the specific reason, but, seeing this, Xiao Yan didn't have time to think. He closed his eyes and lost his mind. The cultivation roots of the three major divine arts were completely imprinted on Xiao Yan's body. As for the three major divine arts, originally their own powers were their masters, and they were even rebellious against each other, but when Xiao Yi remembered them in his body, there was nothing to block them. Although Xiao Yan has mastered the three great divine arts now, Xiao Yan will not leave the good Fenju without cultivating, so he will switch to other exercises, because Xiao Yan feels that the power of Fenju is even higher than the seven great divine arts. At this moment, Xiao Yan has already mastered the third of the seven realms of divine art. Although he does not want to practice, but with the help of the cultivation root and direction of the three divine art, in the future, by chance and coincidence, he has given a lot of talents and outstanding people. The rise of the world's top forces has deeply paved the way for a solid road. For the trip to the demon world, I am afraid that the three major divine arts have received the best rewards now, and with these three divine arts, in the future, when walking in the ghost world, the devil world, and the Buddha world, the lethality of these three world powerhouses to Xiao Yan will also be greatly reduced. Continuing from the previous episode 1942. This guy, what the asterisk is going on? In the cave of Yaoyuan, the black evil dragon wolf kept guarding Xiao Yan's side. Looking at Xiao Yan, who was motionless, he couldn't help muttering. Although this place is also within the Demon Fate Cave, but the Aurora area here is just the tip of the iceberg. In addition to the mystery of the cave, the Black Devil Dragon Wolf is also extremely nervous. Xiao Yan stood quietly on the land of Aurora. The original power of the three realms' divine art had slowly dissipated, and calm was restored here, but the strange thing was that three groups of extremely strange sealing powers emerged around him. This power was clearly the power that sealed the Demon Emperor, but how could it now appear beside Xiao Yan? Just ask that level of power, even the Demon Emperor is moved by it, let alone a small 7-star fighting immortal powerhouse. All kinds of questions plagued the Heisha Dragon Wolf, making him helpless, walking back and forth on the land of Aurora for a while, obviously extremely irritable. Hush! With a sound, the beast of flames that had been quiet suddenly opened its eyes, stared at Xiao Yan, and roared, as if something had changed in Xiao Yan. Wang Om! At this moment, Xiao Yan's body suddenly burst into a dazzling 5-color arc of fire, which instantly absorbed the power of the three groups, and the place returned to calm. Senior Dragon Wolf. Xiao Yan just opened his eyes when he spoke to the latter with a smile, and his voice was filled with strange fluctuations. You kid? Are you alright? The Heisha Longling couldn't help but stare at Xiao Yan, for fear that the hero of the demon world would suffer any loss. Ouch! For a while, the flame beast was as cheerful as a porcelain doll, and ran to Xiao Yan's side with a single stride. Relying on the fluff on his body, he vigorously hopped on Xiao Yan's arm, and his appearance was quite intimate. You bastard! Seeing this, Xiao Yan smiled slowly, and immediately stroked the fur of the flame beast with his palm. You're awake. After the breath, the void in the land of Aurora wriggled, and a figure above all things stepped out and said softly. That is the Demon Emperor. Senior Demon Emperor. Seeing this, Xiao Yan's eyes darkened and he respected him, but the Demon Emperor now seems to be completely different from when he just broke the seal. Moreover, the strength of this Demon Emperor is definitely the strongest he has ever seen in his life. Unless his master, the Golden Dragon King, returns to his peak, he will not be able to compare with him, not to mention that this guy seems to have a close relationship with their Xiao clan. Naturally very kind, the demon world has now calmed down. The Demon Emperor said, "What a terrifying reincarnation powerhouse." Listening to the Demon Emperor's understatement, Xiao Yan and Heisha Longling couldn't help but feel a terrifying wave in their hearts. I do have something left by the patriarch of the Xiao clan that needs to be handed over to you. After a deep voice, the Demon Emperor also said with a strange expression, it seems that there are countless dazzling divine powers in those eyes, which is on Xiao Yan's body. Circle back and forth. What is the Demon Emperor hesitating about? Senior, please. Seeing this, Xiao Yan didn't say much. He suddenly clasped his fists with both hands, and bowed to the Demon Emperor in a big salute, waiting for the Demon Emperor's answer. Forget it. Let's just let it go in the future. Seeing Xiao Yan's appearance, the Demon Emperor also smiled casually. Obviously he had already made a decision. Xiao Yan, a descendant of the Xiao family, thanked the predecessors. Xiao Yan hurriedly exclaimed with joy. You don't need to thank me. Then again, this time the demon world is in a disaster. If it weren't for your help, I'm afraid our demon world would be in jeopardy. In the end, I should thank you. The Demon Emperor's voice was quite calm, but there was an inherent domineering in it. That kind of aura was indescribable, but it was enough to make people surrender. By the way, Dragon Wolf, I smelled some familiar fluctuations in the demon suppression prison. Is that kind of power hers? After speaking to Xiao Yan, the Demon Emperor turned his head slowly and asked the Heisha Longwolf. Lord, this subordinate is incompetent. When escorting Lord Xiao Yan to the sealed land, he lost to a powerful enemy and had to be rescued by Mistress Lu Yun, so she was deeply attacked by the four-winged angel of the Holy See, and now I am afraid that her life and death are unknown. In the eyes of the Black Dragon Wolf, there was a burst of anger, and even the body shook involuntarily. Hoo-hoo! Xiao Yan clearly felt the humming of countless voids in this cave, and it seemed that the Demon Emperor would burst open the next moment. It's not your fault. After Shun breathed, it seemed that the Demon Emperor was trying his best to suppress the anger in his body, and immediately closed his eyes and muttered. Xiao Yan, I have something to ask for. The entire land of Aurora was deadly quiet, and the Demon Emperor spoke a few minutes later. Senior, please tell me. Xiao Yan also noticed something and said, if you can, when you return to Btth continent, please help me covertly and secretly help her. I just want to rescue Lu Yun. In the voice of the Demon Emperor, there was less domineering, but more love between children. Although I don't dare to make a ticket, leave this matter to me. After Xiao Yan said in a deep voice, he nodded. I just broke the seal now, and the tyrant has disappeared. It will take a lot of time to find it. In addition to my strength, I have to adjust my strength to the peak because of the increase in the cave. And unifying the demon world, etc., I still need a lot of time. When I finish dealing with these matters, I will go to Btth continent to start a war with the Holy See. At all costs. The soft voice echoed on the land of Aurora, but every character contained a touch of power that shook the world. But Master, one of the Holy Sea's strongholds is on the Btth continent, the core of the Btth continent. The four-winged angel is likely to bind the hostess somewhere. The power of the Holy See above Btth continent not only possesses the three major red-clothed archbishops, but even the Pope's priests, etc. Heishan Longling was also extremely worried at this time. Don't worry, this guy is the embryo of the King of Beasts in the demon world. I will let him grow up in a very short period of time, and then I will hand the entire demon world into its hands. The Demon Emperor said softly. Sure enough, Xiao Yan said with relief after listening to the Demon Emperor's plan. This flaming beast is the king of all beasts. It was only because of some chance and coincidence that he was able to evolve by luck. Now that it has returned to the demon world, it has the teachings of the Demon Emperor, and Xiao Yan is also relieved. Little guy, this is your home in the future, remember to cultivate and protect it. After Shunshi, Xiao Yan touched the cheek of the flame beast with a smile, and smiled gently. Home. At this moment, the flaming beast looked at it with such a smile, but it suddenly noticed something, and tears flickered in the beast's eyes, dripping uncontrollably. That feeling, as if the thing I liked most suddenly disappeared, was extremely heart-wrenching. It's parting, it's leaving. But all separations are foreshadowing for a better reunion next time. Accompanying him for a long time, coupled with Xiao Yan's protection and giving, let this king of beasts, who is still growing, keep Xiao Yan's emaciated figure in his heart, and it will never be extinguished. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1943. Lu Yun's business is up to you. As for this little guy, let me take care of it for you. When you see you next time, its growth rate will naturally exceed your imagination. After some conversation, the Demon Emperor said to Xiao Yan, and the rest of the matters are also it was arranged in a tight and orderly manner. Xiao Yan nodded solemnly, apparently this is the only way now. By the way, Senior, this is a demon book. I think you need it more than me. Just after he finished speaking, the demon book in Xiao Yan's body overflowed directly from his body and floated towards the demon emperor. Since he had already left the demon world, take it since it doesn't have much use, it's better to give it to the demon emperor according to the previous agreement. Thank you, it can greatly shorten the time for me to find the bully weapon. The demon emperor did not hesitate and accepted it directly. Since the trip to the demon world is over, then I'll take you to where you should go. The clues left by your seniors of the Xiao family and your immortality are all there. After you get those things back, you can go back directly. Douyin continent is a very good place. I hope to hear the news that you have stepped into the reincarnation in a long time. At that time, you will be able to intervene in the affairs of the Xiao family. Let's go, the demon emperor said in a series, without giving Xiao Yan any chance to refute. Hey! Just after he said that, an extremely terrifying reincarnation demon energy was released from the demon emperor's body, protecting Xiao Yan's own body, and then he was sent directly to the deeper part of the Yaoyuan cave, which is the so-called there is something that the strong Xiao clan left behind for Xiao Yan. I don't know what treasures the patriarch of the Xiao clan kept with you, master. He Sha Longling looked at this scene, and immediately said curiously. I don't know, anyway, with my power, I can't spy on the slightest. But I remember he said, it seems that some kind of flame is coming. The demon emperor wondered, is the secret of immortality and immortality? After a while, the black dragon wolf continued. Let's go, even if he has immortal fire and immortal flame, he may not be able to understand it. The demon emperor shook his head and said, obviously the mystery of immortality in his body has a great relationship with the so-called immortality and immortality. By the way, Lord, Xiao Yan has helped us so much, and the gains from this trip to the demon world seem to be very small. If it spreads out like this, it would be gossiped by guys from the other 6 realms. Heishan Longling wondered, the meaning behind it was obvious. Although he has gained a little from this trip to the demon world, it is enough. Otherwise, I can naturally help him to be promoted to the 8-star fighting immortal, but that will help him grow, because he is the last hope among the descendants of the Xiao family. You still need to explore your own way. Let's go, time is running out, recovery of power is imminent, and the evil race outside the territory has lost such a top power, I am afraid they will also act. After the two finished speaking, they left here with the flame beast. At this point, Xiao Yan's journey to the demon world has truly come to an end. This resolute guy, Xiao Yan didn't know where he was now. The only thing he could know was that he was going to the deeper part of the Yaoyuan cave, where there are countless mysteries, and even if there is a demon emperor with the help of strength, Xiao Yan was also heartbroken. In the dim space, the surroundings are like the land of Aurora, sparkling with sparkling waves, reflecting countless mysteries, but Xiao Yan can clearly feel the terror of the surrounding forces, and as it goes deeper, a terrifying force penetrates into the soul. Is also diffused out. After about tens of minutes, Xiao Yan's pace stopped and he stood quietly in the same place, looking at the rather strange scene in front of him. It was an iceberg. The iceberg was surrounded by a formation surrounded by countless ice swords. Inside, there seemed to be strange fluctuations that were enough to attract burning dew and holy flames in his body. At this moment, Xiao Yan stopped. Judging from his soul power, this place should be close to the depths of the Yaoyuan cave, and looking at the huge sword formation composed of countless ice swords not far away in front of him, a surging depression filled Xiao Yan's heart. Fire! After Shun breathed, he realized that the reincarnation demonic energy in his body was actually invaded by the power of ice emanating from the ice sword. Xiao Yan did not dare to hesitate. Armed, and immediately launched an attack directly against the ice sword formation. Hey! The ice sword formation was affected by Xiao Yan's attack. Immediately, countless ice swords smashed through the void and roared towards Xiao Yan. As for what was under the ice sword formation, it was completely covered by its white mist. I can't see clearly, but that kind of thing is extremely precious without thinking about it. The current thing is naturally to crack this strange sword formation. The power of holy flame. After a while, a majestic 5-color flame swept out of Xiao Yan's body, temporarily suppressing the pressure of the ice sword formation. Following Xiao Yan's fierce attack, in the white mist, countless icy swords broke and whistled violently, and then the sword body shook violently. Han Bingji and Po actually calmed down slowly, they quietly began to line up, separated, and vaguely formed an extremely obscure and complicated triangular sword formation. In the center of the sword formation, a beautiful and mysterious yin and yang gossip pattern slowly stands in it, making the atmosphere here extremely mysterious. Weng Om! With the formation of the triangular sword formation, the yin and yang gossip in the sword formation glowed with a substantive scene, attracting Xiao Yan's attention. This is the Demon Emperor? Looking at the familiar man in the picture, Xiao Yan couldn't help exclaiming. In the picture, there is a whole green forest with a very mysterious freshwater lake in the center of the forest. At this time, the figure of the Demon Emperor slowly stands in this freshwater lake, as if thinking about something. The Demon Emperor at this time was completely different from the current Demon Emperor, but the domineering aura on his body made Xiao Yan recognize it at a glance. Today's Demon Emperor, his eyes are as quiet as water waves, staring closely at this freshwater lake. His body is full of domineering, a terrifying aura that is contemptuous of the world. Looking along the line of sight of the Demon Emperor, two mysterious fishes were swimming happily in the originally pure white and flawless freshwater lake. Those are two black and white fish. The power of black and white interacts perfectly, as mysterious as the power of yin and yang, rendering the aura of the Demon Emperor to the limit. That's Taiyi immortal judgment? After a while, the Demon Emperor summoned him, and suddenly inhaled the yin and yang fish into his body, and 5 black and white words with flying dragons and phoenixes appeared beside the Demon Emperor. Weng buzzing. At this time, the immortal fire in Xiao Yan's body and the immortal fire left his body uncontrollably, and immediately hit the picture. Bang bang bang. With a loud noise, it slowly shook, and then the picture of the frost sword formation disappeared quietly, revealing a passage above the iceberg. This passage is also emerald green, but it contains countless auras, even a terrifying aura that surpasses Xiao Yan's 5-color holy flame. That kind of breath is definitely not the top 10 supreme holy flames in the holy flame list. Even the so-called immortal and immortal fluctuations are also emitted from the emerald green channel. End of this chapter. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website mobile version reading website. Continuing from the previous episode 1944. What a strange passage. Along with the triangular formation, Yin-Yang Bagua exudes endless demonic energy, and in the iceberg, an emerald green passage slowly appears, which seems to be connected to a mysterious and ancient place. Xiao Yan saw this, frowned and muttered. In this emerald green passage, it seems that there is endless imprisoning power, and even Xiao Yan's power at that level can't be confronted head-on. Not to mention that the outside world can only smell an extremely fierce depression, but the fiery fluctuations of Sheng Yan and Fen Zhu in Xiao Yan's body made Xiao Yan stagnate for a while. It seems that some things in this passage have something to do with Sheng Yan and Fen Zhu. Judging from such hot fluctuations, this is definitely the first time Xiao Yan has encountered in his life. I don't care. With a light voice, Xiao Yan didn't hesitate immediately, his figure jumped, and he stepped directly into the emerald green channel of demonic energy. Shoo shoo! The thick demonic aura almost crushed Xiao Yan into a pile of powder. His muscles suddenly tightened to varying degrees, making it difficult to even breathe. It seems that the next moment is to be completely strangled to death by the ghost. Weng buzzing. At that time, the blood of the Xiao family, the deepest part of Xiao Yan's body, violently rolled and roared like an automatic protector, and bursts of scarlet blood force emerged, forming a scarlet streak in front of Xiao Yan's body. The color of the energy shackles protects Xiao Yan. With the energy shackles supported by the power of blood, Xiao Yan was relieved just now, otherwise, Xiao Yan would not dare to imagine the consequences of such extreme pressure. Xiao clan's bloodline? At this moment, Xiao Yan's pressure was greatly reduced, walking in the emerald green passage with great ease, hesitantly said. It seems that there is indeed a place left by our seniors of the Xiao family, and the blood in the body is drawn, and this scene has just happened. Feeling the boiling and abnormality of the blood of the Xiao family in the body, Xiao Yan smiled slightly, and he knew it for a while. The reason for that. After resting, Xiao Yan looked at this emerald green passage. The passage here is quite vast. It looks like an irregular quadrilateral all day long, and it seems to have a space area of tens of meters. On the surrounding walls, there are some green demons that reach the sky, and those demons form countless birds. The beasts are carved on it, and the lifelike handwriting seems to be real. The bodies, feathers and even the demeanor of the birds and beasts are subtle and slightly warped. Emergence cannot help but daunting. Cc. Xiao Yan walked gently, with the help of the protection of the blood shackles on his body. His palms lightly touched the murals of these monsters on the soaring demonic energy, trying to detect some other things from them, and suddenly the two just touched. In an instant, a humming sound emerged from Xiao Yan's palm and the emerald green monster beast mural. At this moment, Xiao Yan's whole body strength and perception were wrapped in this green demonic energy, and a violent demon beast swept through his body, as if trying to devour himself. The red blood shackles and the sky-high green demonic energy are intertwined, forming a magnificent scenery. This is a special method. It's a bit like using a monster's demeanor as a cover to memorize some unknown secrets. At this moment, Xiao Yan suddenly realized something. His palms suddenly retracted, and his body was 4 squares away. The mysterious frescoes on the walls are far away from some distance, and the eyes are vigilant. Boom! At that time, countless birds and beasts fell off the mural as if they had come to life. The extreme power made Xiao Yan's scalp tingle. Hundreds of monsters, and even the weakest beings are enough to easily destroy him. At this moment, Xiao Yan's heart, body-burning skills, and many other means exploded directly. "Little guy, come here." At the same time, it seemed that some ancient voice slowly sounded from the end of the emerald green passage, guiding Xiao Yan. Wang buzzing. For a moment, without waiting for Xiao Yan's reaction, the whole body flew upside down, and in a flash, it was wrapped in a golden light and headed towards the end of the emerald green passage. His eyes were filled with an ancient look of respect, and after he had rested, he was transformed into a mural and stood here quietly. They are the guardians of this ancient passage. Once strange creatures break into this place, they will be mercilessly obliterated by them, but it is unknown why Xiao Yan was summoned by the power they guard. Wang buzzing. Xiao Yan was enveloped by the power, and his voice guided him towards the end like a thunderbolt. He seemed to have penetrated some kind of extremely ancient energy barrier for a while, and the blood shackles on his body and the power of that layer of energy barrier was exactly the same. After a while, it crashed into the barrier, and the silence returned to hear. It hurts. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Yan only felt that his whole body was surging, and a terrifying aura that surpassed the sky shot out, and immediately wrapped himself, as if he had left the emerald green passage and reached the end, so he did not open his eyes yet. Eyes, palms touching forehead, quite painful. Gulu. What is this place? After waiting for the pain in his forehead to ease a little, a look of shock appeared on Xiao Yan's flat face. After being wrapped by that mysterious light, Xiao Yan reached the end of the emerald green passage, as if he had passed some mysterious enchantment force and entered a very strange place. Looking around at this time, this is actually the mysterious lake that I just saw from the triangle sword formation? There are not only countless lush ancient trees in the sky, but even a domineering demonic energy permeates the air, and the center of the forest is where the lake is. Come here. Just when Xiao Yan was puzzled, a soft voice slowly emerged. That voice was as light as a feather, but under the gentle tone, it contained a touch of arrogance that was irresistible to the world, and even this arrogance was still above the demon emperor, reaching a kind of domineering that Xiao Yan had never seen before. Realm. That kind of power, that kind of realm, I am afraid that the word reincarnation is not enough to compare. Hush! Xiao Yan was about to follow the voice. When he walked past these monstrous ancient trees, these ancient trees trembled under Xiao Yan's eyelids, and immediately the originally empty path was blocked by him. Seriously, what's going on? Seeing this, Xiao Yan found that the blood shackles on his body had disappeared, and now that he entered here, all the power in his body had failed. He frowned. The ruler is loose, ready for what comes next. The area of the forest here is about 1,000 meters, but the strange thing is that these ancient trees, it seems that each one contains the power and life breath that surpasses ordinary people. In addition, it is so humane that hinders his progress. Xiao Yan can't help it. He hesitated. Let's step back. Just as Xiao Yan was about to go all out, that gentle ancient voice suddenly emerged. Immediately, these strange old trees quieted down, and slowly retreated to let the path out. They were quietly creeping on the two sides of the path, with their crowns all facing the lake in the center of the forest. They were quite respectful, humble and dare not have any disobedience. Opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Please remember this book's first domain name. Tang San Chinese website, mobile version reading website.